Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I've got a really great one for you. This is something I'm really excited to talk about. We're not going to be looking at my investments. We're not going to be looking at the stock market, but rather we're going to be talking about real estate. We're going to go into details about my plan with real estate, how I'm going to progress in purchasing my first property, my first investment property, and we're going to be setting the stage for this series that I'm going to kick off. And hey, if you guys are brand new to this channel and you're just coming here for the first time, well, listen, I want to say welcome. My name is Dalton. This is dlitztv, and hey, on this channel we talk about all things investing, and yes, that is going to soon include a very small but growing real estate portfolio. And if you guys were wondering, how do you get started real estate investing? Maybe you're young. I know I've got a lot of younger viewers out there. Maybe you're wondering what it takes to actually purchase property, to purchase a house, maybe a multifamily unit. Well, I think this is going to be a really, really great channel and a great series for you, because what I'm planning to do is take you through all of the steps. As I'm learning myself, I'm going to be able to relay the information and talk about the entire process. I'll give you full transparency into purchasing a rental property. My overall goal, just to get it out on the table, is to buy a multifamily unit. Now, whether that's a duplex, a triplex, or a fourplex, it's still on the table. Now, hopefully they're available. The problem is right now, with where the market's at, it is definitely a seller's market where pretty much anything listed is being sold, and there's a lot of competition out there in terms of buyers. So the feasibility of this in the short term, it might be a little chaotic, but there is definitely a lot to talk about. So some of the things that I'm going to be covering, how to find a mortgage lender that works for you. I'm going to be able to talk about, real estate agents, how to select a real estate agent. I'm going to be able to talk about some of the numbers that it comes to crunch when you're looking at rental or real estate that is an investment property. If you're looking to buy and hold and rent it out, we'll talk about how to determine the rents. We'll determine a lot of different things. And obviously, what I'm most excited for is showcasing the property. So when I do finally get into a rental, when I do finally get that investment property, what's going to happen is I'll be able to start a series about some of those upgrades that I need to make. It's more than likely that a property that I purchase anytime within the next, 6 to 8 months is going to need a lot of work. And that's because of where the market is at today. There's a lot of, crappy properties that are going to sell for a decently high value. There's still deals to be found in today's market, despite what you may think. I know that prices have been inflated, but the way you want to look at real estate, and I was talking to someone who was describing this to me, is almost like a game of chess. Now, your first property is going to be what introduces you to the market. It's going to be like a pawn for that chess game. And whether or not that works out well is going to determine how you handle real estate moving forward. So if you have a really bad experience with your first sort of property, you don't know what you're doing, you don't get the right information, well, it's more than likely that you're going to get into maybe it's not the right property, you find some crappy tenants, and the entire experience is ruined. So all this motivation you had to take the market by the reins, get your first rental property, and get some income generation from that method, you just lose your drive if it doesn't go well. So what I want to do is make sure that I'm taking all the precautions necessary to make sure the experience is great. And I've kind of had a first run at this as I was looking at properties about a year ago. And quite honestly, I wasn't in the right frame of mind to be able to make a purchase, if that makes any sense. Now, another thing is I wasn't quite at the amount of money I'd like to have in order to make a down payment on a place. And so now I've been living at home, living at my girlfriend's house with her mother for about a year. I've been able to save up a significant amount of money from this. And you guys have been seeing this process all along. You've been seeing me maximize my savings, try and figure out how to pocket the most money as possible. So that way I could have enough money for a down payment. And you might be looking at me and being like, why are you straying away from the stock market? And it's interesting. I've always had a knack for wanting to get into real estate and establish another form of income. As you guys know from one of my recent videos, the average millionaire has about 7 streams of income. Right now, I'm at around 4. If I get rental, that's 5. And I'm going to continue to grow from there. Now, one thing about where I'm at financially in this decision, got about, in the stock market, the portfolios that I showcase, maybe around $30,000 was my last update for you guys. I've got around 50 that I'm looking to use as the down payment on a property. So there is a lot that's going to go into it. And I want to talk about, again, that entire process from, what you guys have already seen, me saving for it, and then all the decisions that come along with purchasing a property, and then finding tenants, all of the above. So I'm really excited for this. I hope you guys are too. And if you guys want to string along for the process, I highly recommend subscribing to the channel. Again, I'm really excited to jump into this series, share the process along with all of you. And maybe, you guys can teach me. I know there's a lot of viewers out there who maybe have a lot more experience in real estate and they have some advice to give me. Now, real quickly before I sign off, a couple quick notes. Number one, if you took anything away from this video or you could see this being useful in the future, this series would really mean a lot to me if you click that like button, and it will just help this video show me that you support what I'm trying to do here, and share the message with others. It's going to put it on other homepages on YouTube and get more visibility around it. And then the second thing I want to talk about is, I'm really taking YouTube very seriously, and pretty soon I want to take it to the next step. And what I mean by that is one day I want YouTube to be my full-time job. And in order to do that, I'm going to need to generate some stable income. So this is where you can come into play. If you really support the channel, you want to take your support to the next level. And trust me, you guys have already been supporting this channel so much just through the YouTube audience itself. But if you want to take it another step, what you can do is actually consider joining Patreon, joining my Patreon. And if you don't know what that is, essentially it's a way that you can help support the channel or support those creators that you thoroughly enjoy their content and take some stuff away from. So basically what you get right now is if you sign up for my Patreon, it's a $5 subscription. What this is going to give you access to is Patreon exclusive posts, which I have to be honest, there's not a whole lot out there right now. I'm planning on building out a backlog for that. And I think as part of that, this whole rental series will be a lot of behind the scenes stuff going on. And then number two is what you're going to get from it is access to a Discord community. It's very small right now, only about 3 or 4 members, but it's going to grow over time. And it's going to be people that are very like-minded, thinking similarly, and most likely on the same financial path and journey you're on. So it's a great way to sort of network and meet others that are very similar to you. And anyways, guys, if not, that's completely fine. I just wanted to put that out there. The links will be in the description. But thank you so much for checking out this video. I hope you all have a great day, and make sure you tune in for the rest of this series. See you later. It's free.